Jack Hughes is now an American hockey hero after burying the golden goal that put USA back on top of the world after 46 long years. But did you know Jack didn't grow up in the US honing his hockey skills alongside his brother? He actually grew up in enemy territory. This is the story of how a kid who grew up in Canada, yes, Canada, became an American hero. Let's dive in. Born in Orlando, Florida, Jack Hughes was introduced to hockey almost immediately thanks to his parents, Jim and Ellen, both deeply rooted in the sport. Jim built a career as a coach and executive, while Ellen played NCAA hockey at the University of New Hampshire and earned a silver medal with Team USA at the 1992 Women's World Championship. At the time of Jack's birth on May 14, 2001, Jim was serving as an assistant coach with the Orlando Solar Bears in the IHL. Not long after, the family moved to Boston when Jim joined the Bruins coaching staff. A couple of years later, they relocated to New Hampshire, where Jim spent 3 seasons with the AHL's Manchester Monarchs, including time as head coach. In 2006, the Hughes family made Toronto their permanent home after Jim accepted a role with the Maple Leafs organization, first as an assistant coach with the Toronto Marlies, and later as the Leafs director of player development. It was in Toronto where Jack's love for the game truly took shape. He skated on neighborhood outdoor rinks and spent countless hours playing mini-sticks in the basement with his older brother Quinn. Surrounded by hockey daily, he quickly developed into a dynamic, well-rounded player. His skating, often considered his defining trait, was no accident. With parents who had him and his brothers on the ice before they were even 2 years old, Hughes' smooth stride was years in the making. Ellen emphasized the finer details of skating mechanics, while Jim concentrated on building strength and explosiveness through edge work. Together, they helped shape the foundation of Jack's game. Proper technique, body positioning, and driving through the lower half were constant themes in their teaching. They encouraged skating with 2 hands firmly on the stick, so the legs powered the movement, allowing the shoulders and hips to stay aligned through turns. That early technical focus became a defining element of his stride. In 2017, the Hughes family relocated to Michigan, and Jack encountered a pivotal crossroads in his development: pursue major junior hockey in Canada or maintain NCAA eligibility. Though selected by the Mississauga Steelheads in the Ontario Hockey League, he chose a different path. Following the route his brother Quinn had taken, Jack committed to the U.S. National Team Development Program in Plymouth, Michigan, preserving his college options while competing against elite talent. Over 3 seasons with the NTDP, Hughes rewrote sections of the program's record book. As captain of the U18 team, he posted 32 goals and 82 assists in 59 games. In United States Hockey League play, he erupted for 102 points in just 51 contests, including 33 goals and 69 assists. His offensive production, vision, and skating separated him from his peers, elevated his draft stock significantly. Internationally, Hughes became a fixture for Team USA. He competed at the World Under-17 Hockey Challenge, 2 U18 World Championships, the World Junior Championship, and even the Men's World Championship at a remarkably young age. At the 2019 World Juniors, he captured a silver medal and, despite being the youngest player on the roster, finished tied for 8th among all skaters with 4 assists in 4 games. Just months later, at the 2019 U18 World Championship in Sweden, Hughes delivered one of the most dominant performances in tournament history. He recorded 20 points, 9 goals, and 11 assists, leading all players and helping the United States earn bronze with a win over Canada. Across 2 appearances at the event, he totaled 32 points in 14 games, setting a new tournament record and cementing his reputation as one of the most electrifying young players in the world. 1 month later, Hughes celebrated his 18th birthday in remarkable fashion, skating with Team USA at the 2019 IIHF World Championship in Slovakia. In doing so, he became the youngest American ever to appear at the tournament. Competing against seasoned professionals, he averaged just under 14 minutes of ice time per game and contributed 3 assists in 7 appearances, gaining invaluable experience on the international stage. That summer, at the 2019 NHL Draft, the New Jersey Devils selected Hughes first overall. He became just the 8th American-born player to be taken number 1, chosen for his electrifying skating, elite hands, and rare ability to generate offense at top speed. Soon after, he signed his entry-level contract and stepped directly into the NHL for the 2019-20 season. Hughes recorded his first NHL point on October 17, 2019, and scored his first goal 2 nights later against the Vancouver Canucks. A memorable moment made even more special with his brother Quinn on the opposing roster. The early years required adjustment. As a teenager facing the league's best, he posted 21 points in 61 games as a rookie, and followed that with 31 points in 56 games during the shortened 2020-21 campaign. Everything began to shift in 2021-22. Hughes showed clear signs of stardom, highlighted by a dramatic early season overtime winner against Chicago. In November 2021, the Devils committed to him long-term with an 8-year contract extension. Despite missing 17 games due to a shoulder injury, he exploded offensively, finishing with 56 points in just 49 games. A massive step forward in production and confidence. His full breakout arrived in 2022-23. Hughes elevated himself into the NHL's elite tier, recording 43 goals and 56 assists for 99 points in 78 games. He set a franchise record for regular season points and helped power the Devils to 52 wins and a long-awaited playoff berth. He also collected his first postseason points, signaling that his impact extended beyond the regular season. Even while battling injuries in subsequent years, Hughes continued to produce at a star level. He posted 74 points in 62 games in 2023-24 and followed that with 70 points in 62 games in 2024-25, before shoulder issues required season-ending surgery in March 2025. Through roughly 370 NHL games, Hughes has surpassed 150 goals and 390 points, earned multiple All-Star selections, and firmly established himself as the centerpiece of the Devils' resurgence and one of the league's premier offensive talents. Heading into the 2026 Winter Games in Milano Cortina, expectations for the United States men's hockey team were as high as they had been in decades. For the first time since 2014, NHL players were back in the Olympics, and the American roster was loaded with elite, in their prime stars. With names like Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel, Brady Tkachuk, Connor Hellebuck, and the Hughes brothers anchoring the lineup, this wasn't viewed as a scrappy underdog team chasing a medal. It was viewed as a legitimate gold medal favorite. The narrative was simple. The United States had the depth, the speed, and the goaltending to finally end the men's Olympic gold drought that stretched back to 1980. Much of that confidence stemmed from the Four Nations Face-Off tournament that preceded the Olympics. The event, featuring the United States, Canada, Sweden, and Finland, functioned as a best-on-best preview of what Olympic competition would look like. The Americans were highly competitive throughout the tournament and advanced to the championship game, ultimately falling to Canada in overtime. While the loss stung, it reinforced two important storylines. First, the United States could go toe-to-toe with Canada's superstar core. Second, the margin between winning and losing at this level was razor thin. The Four Nations event exposed areas to tighten up: special teams execution and late-game management. But it also solidified belief inside the locker room that this group was built to win on the biggest stage. Central to those expectations were Jack Hughes and Quinn Hughes. By 2026, both brothers had established themselves as cornerstone NHL players. Jack as a dynamic, high-end offensive driver for the New Jersey Devils, and Quinn as one of the league's premier puck-moving defensemen and a captain in Vancouver. Their presence symbolized a generational shift in American hockey: elite skating, creativity, and confidence with the puck. There was a sense that the Olympics would be a defining moment for both, particularly Jack, whose game seemed tailor-made for international ice and high-skill tournament play. When the Olympic tournament began, the United States looked every bit like a favorite. They played fast, controlled possession, and received steady goaltending from Connor Hellebuck. Jack Hughes, meanwhile, delivered the type of offensive spark that had long been expected of him on the international stage. He consistently created scoring chances off the rush, attacked defenders one-on-one, and forced opposing teams to adjust to his speed and lateral movement. Throughout the tournament, he was among the United States' most dangerous forwards, contributing timely goals and primary assists. His chemistry with the team's other high-skill forwards gave the Americans a level of unpredictability that made them difficult to defend. All of it built toward the gold medal game, a showdown with Canada that carried historical weight and emotional intensity. For American hockey fans, it was impossible not to draw parallels to 1980, but this time the United States was not the plucky underdog. They were equals, stacked with NHL superstars on both sides. In a tightly contested game, the Hughes brothers again played critical roles. The defining moment came in overtime. With the game tied and gold hanging in the balance, Jack Hughes delivered. He scored the sudden death winner, sealing the United States' first men's Olympic hockey gold medal in 46 years. The goal instantly became one of the most iconic moments in modern American hockey history. It validated the expectations that had surrounded him since he was drafted first overall in 2019, and confirmed that he could be a difference maker on the sport's biggest international stage. The victory also reframed the conversation about American hockey's place in the global hierarchy. For years, the United States had produced elite individual players, but team success at best-on-best international events had been inconsistent. The 2026 Olympic performance, following the competitive showing at the Four Nations tournament, signaled that the US was no longer chasing Canada. It was standing shoulder to shoulder with them. Ultimately, the expectations heading into the 2026 Olympics were bold, but justified. The United States was projected to contend for gold, and they did exactly that. The lessons from the Four Nations tournament sharpened their focus. For a generation of American players who grew up watching 1980 as history rather than memory, 2026 became their defining chapter, and Jack Hughes became an instant American hero. And there you have it. The journey of Jack Hughes from Canada to becoming an American hockey hero. So, where do you rank Jack's goal all time in USA hockey history? Is it the most important goal for the US ever? Let us know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more videos.